Alright, we're back at it. Getting our shiny, don't worry about it. It'll happen. You gotta think positive and then also, you know, call up Game Freak and give them a couple bucks. They can manipulate your RNG. You gotta do what you gotta do. Sorry to spoil the ultimate shiny hunting method, but I just got that knowledge, I can't help it. It's just who I be. Here we go. It's been kind of warm the last couple days. Even though it rained today, it's still a little warm. Kind of surprising. A little muggy, if you will. There goes the AC kicking on. But yeah, we have a lot of cool shiny hunts coming up. I guess what's funny is all of our early hunts are going to be like pretty cool, and then the late game ones are going to be like the more common kind of lame ones, just because we want to get a Rotom and we want to do an egg hunt just so we can kind of diversify our hunting types. The only type of hunts we're not going to be utilizing are going to be Dynamax Adventures and Dens. Because they make it more difficult to target what you're specifically going for. And specifically, Dens have like kind of like a negative connotation because people so quickly figure out how to exploit their RNG. Which is why when the game was popping, everybody and their mom had a box full of shinies that they got from shiny dens that were being hosted by bots and exploiters. Which I did the exact same thing, so I'm not really going to judge anybody for it. I traded a lot of those for apricorn balls so that I could continue to shiny hunt using swag balls, so benefited me as well. I even sat in Discord and channels where people were hosting shiny dens and would, you know, let people join. And I got a whole bunch of shinies that way. Now, did I use any of them or consider them valuable outside of for trading? No, not at all. Did I catch them in swag balls? Absolutely not. You don't besmirch the name of a swag ball by catching a guaranteed shiny with it. It's just against the shiny hunter code, according to me, and probably only me. But yeah, we had kind of a kind of a chill day. Tomorrow's going to be probably a bit harder, but it should still be fine. It's kind of slow right now, which is surprising because we're about to have the 4th of July week, and it's gonna probably be pretty crazy on that week. I think for that week, I'm going to be, yeah, I think I'll be in a spot where I'm gonna have to do a lot of work, but that's okay. That's why I get paid, you know, I don't get paid to hang out. Hey, what's up? Welcome back. You came just in time for me to get the shiny. It's the very next encounter. How do I know? Because I'm a hacker. Cheater. Exploiter. And I'm also lying, it won't be this one. See? I knew it wasn't. I can tell the future. You're the hacker? Oh, okay. My kid used to be really into that like YouTube genre where you had to like guess who the hacker was or whatever. It was like some cringe like Roblox thing or whatever back when he was watching like FGTV and Funnel Vision and all those channels. He was telling me the other day that the dad became a Christian and the whole family became Christian, and now they make like super positive, wholesome content. And I was like, well, that's cool, dude. Because they used to be such hoodlums, foul-mouthed deviants. No, I'm just kidding, it was always a family channel. Just not God-centered. I remember them playing Imaginators way back in the day. You think they're too positive? Or now you think they're too positive? I mean, family channels are pretty chill in that regard. What I liked about them is a lot of those family channels felt very forced and weird. Like Ryan Toy's Review and stuff like that. But that family just seemed like they were actually just enjoying playing games and being silly. And the dad was basically a comedian. Like, if you see the way he talked and everything, he basically was like an improv comedian. I wouldn't be surprised if he had done improv comedy before, because he's really good at making up songs off the top of his head, saying goofy, silly things off the top of his head. So, yeah. I mean, they all kind of have to be fake to some degree. Like, think about Ninja back in the day when he was really big on Fortnite. He had to fully, like, you know, PG his whole channel so he could make as much money as possible. When back in the day he cursed and everything, and now he curses again. So, but you know, you take advantage of the opportunities you're given. It's kind of like how Miss Rachel is fake, but she's playing a character, you know. Yeah, I know. There's a whole bunch of channels that were like exposing the dark side of Ryan Toy's Review, and then I watched the video and it's just like, yeah, sometimes he doesn't feel like doing it and they talk him into it, and sometimes he feels weird about like having to act like a little kid as a teenager now. And I'm like, okay, well, that's fair. But he's still saying he's willing to do it, not that they're making him. Yeah. I mean, seems only natural. Take advantage of the moment when you're in it. Some people are bad at doing it. And then the sad thing is when people fall off and then they're chasing that peak for like ever. It gets a little depressing. I just think it's funny when these channels like, you know, clickbait and they're like, the dark side here, and they make it sound so menacing and stuff, and then they'll be like, they encouraged him to keep doing it even though he's not a kid anymore. And it's like, oh my gosh, how dark can you get? For some reason, I thought that what you said was what he said, and I was like, what kind of advertisement is that? He's just coming in to insult me and doesn't even put a website in there? That's a strange strategy. We'll have to see if it works for him. Oh. No, I'm not familiar with No Mercy. Theo was playing some like sword fighting game that's super old school that he recently got back into that he said only like 20 people play, but he's like one of the best, and I was like, of course you are, dude. It's going to be interesting having this generation of kids that grew up on Roblox, you know, being like a nostalgic of like the thousands of Roblox games that they played. I think it'll be an interesting cultural phenomenon. Because most of us have like, you know, in my generation we would talk about Nintendo games or Super Nintendo games or Sega Genesis games, but and then my like older kids, they would talk about like Flash games that they like to play and stuff like that. And then you guys, it's going to be all like computer games and mobile games. So it'll be cool. They'll be like, man, I really liked Roblox and I really liked... I don't know, I can't think of a mobile game right now. I guess kids aren't actually super into mobile games outside of ones that are attached to console and whatever. It feels like mobile games have always been kind of like old lady, old man stuff, you know? Like they're always like Candy Crush and stuff. Like there are mobile games that kids like, but I can't think of anyone besides maybe like, you know, the Clash games that were like pretty big. Like Clash Royale, Clash of Clans. My Singing Monsters wasn't that big, but it was alright. I feel like not a lot of those mobile games had a lot of staying power. I remember me and Theo played this like Talking Tom jet ski one, and I basically maxed out everything you could get without paying money. Playing it with him. It was actually pretty good. Now it's all good. I'll talk to you later. I feel like I've had that fortified reality bot in here before. I mean, not that specific one, because they always do different codes that they're in at the end. From that chain of bots. I need to decide if I'm going to go and drop this package off when I'm done. I guess I already ate something, so I'll have dinner on the later side, if I bother with it, because I skipped lunch. So I'll probably run this package over and then probably chill. I've been looking at completing my Rotom TCG card collection, but I've gotten to the point where all the cards that I have left are like $30 or more. Well, I guess there's one that's like... No, it's about $30. I mean, you can probably get it for less if you're like lucky, but I'm down to it. Actually, there's two cards that are cheap, but I don't want to pay $1 something shipping for each one, because one's literally a penny and the other one's like 40 cents. So I don't want to pay more for shipping than for the card, but they initially when I bought them as one big grouping, which made it worth it. And then they told me they were out of those ones and refunded me. So then I was like, ah, dang it, dude. So I just check periodically, hoping I can find someone that has both cards so that I can pay only shipping once. We'll get there. And once I have all the cards, I'll order off like Etsy or whatever a really cool frame, put them all in there. I still need to get little display cases for my Rotom plushies. Maybe I'll ask my sister about it because she has some cool display cases she uses for her like Labubus and stuff. So she might have like a good suggestion. She likes to collect kind of memorabilia type stuff. She really likes kind of like creepy, dark looking stuff, like creepy dolls and spooky things. So when I talked her into playing Pokemon, all of her favorite Pokemon were like the ghosts and ghouls and bats, stuff like that. Which is cool. It shows that Pokemon offers something for everybody. Like she liked Pumpkaboo, Litwick, Sableye, Woobat. I'm sipping coffee. I'm still getting a little drowsy. And it wasn't even like a particularly busy day. It was like a decently busy, but I had some things that allowed me to kind of get through it a little faster than a normal day, which is nice. And I'm working with a guy that I like working with. He's a good dude, so even though tomorrow will probably be a long day, I know he'll help me out because he's a good dude. So that'll be nice. So I can just focus on doing a good job. Because it is actually important to me. I'm really looking forward to getting this particular shiny because after this we're doing a shiny I've never done before, which is the Regina Trade shiny. So I'm actually really looking forward to that one. We're also going to do we're also going to do a fossil hunt and a can't think of what I was really thinking of. Fossil and what else? Oh yeah, and the Morgrim static hunt. Technically, I have two static, or not static, but scripted. Technically, I have two scripted hunts. This one and Morgrim, but I think the static or the scripted ones are really cool, and I would do more of them actually if more of them were technically scripted, but they're actually not. The scripted encounters are mostly legendaries. Most of the ones you might think are scripted are not. They're just like unique animation encounters, like the Eldegoss that floats across the bridge. That one's still just an overworld encounter. The Phalanx that comes in and out of the little tunnels is still just an overworld encounter. And then the Carcoal in the mines that runs through is still just a overworld encounter. If those were also scripted, that'd be pretty sick. But they ain't. Which I guess it's actually kind of cool that they're not, because then you have a chance at getting marked Pokemon off of them. But I just like that the scripted ones are like different, and you can't use the shiny charm on them. And in the case of Morgrem, I really like the fact that it's a one-time encounter. So if you end up saving the game after it, it's just gone, you know? You couldn't get the shiny from that one anymore. The cool thing about this hunt is the fact that it's like the little gym challenge thing, and that you have to take out the other one, you know, the other trainer's Pokemon before you can catch it and stuff. It's like a unique little thing that I likes. I'm going for Sizzlipede because it's a Gen 8 Pokemon, it has a G Max form, and I'm already going to be getting a Ghost type in Dreepy near the end of the playthrough. And also, I don't like Vulpix. I think it's kind of boring. It's a boring Pokemon. What's weird is I had read online that depending upon which version you were playing, it would be a Growlithe instead of a Vulpix. And then I found out that that was entirely not true. I was like, oh, okay, crap. Why was the AI telling me that? Sometimes the AI will just tell me things, and then I'll be like, that's not actually true. And then it goes, yeah, you're right, that isn't true. And I'm like, well, why'd you say it was? And it's like, well, I made a mistake. And then I'm like, this is what I was talking about, man. AI lying to you to tell you what you want to hear, and then it's like, put this fork into this electric socket. It'll make you feel warm and happy. I tried it. It made me feel warm for sure, but not the happy part. Would have been a weird time to get a shiny. After that comment. Just got a lot of random dry skin from my sunburn during my vacation. I think I peeled worse than Theodore. And he should be fairer skinned than me. Technically. But he lucked out and mostly got my skin in that he doesn't burn much and he tans really easy, so. When I saw him the other day, I was like, geez Louise, my guy, you're looking pretty dark. And he's like, I know, Dad. More Native American, Dad. And I said, barely. And you're even more barely. Bruh. feel like I could get a shiny. I feel like it could happen. I got a good feeling about this whole shiny stuff. But don't ask me why. Like I've gotten pretty low in my chair. In a nice comfortable spot to get a shiny. In my own opinion. So I do need to send this package out. And I ain't got much else that needs to be done. I was talking to my sister today, encouraging her to complete her Pokedex in Sword and Shield. Saying she could complete it in Scarlet and Violet, but since we do Dynamax Adventures together in Sword and Shield, it would be more beneficial for her to have it in Sword and Shield, though it's probably outside of that wouldn't be her favorite to shiny hunt in. Because I don't think she would want to go with the more challenging one, but hey, maybe she would. Maybe she's like me. If my first shiny hunting experience had been in Scarlet and Violet, Legends Arceus, or Legends ZA, I would have been like, it's not very challenging. Now that my vacation trip is over, I need to make some plans for my next vacation so then I have something else to look forward to. Nothing too crazy because we spent a good amount on that last vacation, but just some fun things that me and Theo can do. Locally or whatever. think about it. Maybe we'll go see a hockey game or something. Yep. I think I said something. I don't know. Thinking out loud. Ready? I told you to be shiny, bro. You didn't listen. You could have listened. You should have listened, but you didn't. So let's try this again, alright? Let's try this again. Brother. I feel like I'm hearing weird noises in my apartment, which I don't like. It's weirding me out a little bit. All right. But yeah, when I'm done with this hunt, I'm gonna comb through my VODs and make a nice little video of my shiny badge quest. And if I'm any good at such entertainment, it should be a good video. We're gonna finish up this coffee rather soon, because it's getting a little bit late to be sipping on coffee, and I didn't sleep the best last night. I woke up quite a bit. Took me a while to fall asleep. Wasn't having like nightmares or nothing, but I swear I hear this sound inside the game that sounds like somebody going in and out of like a automatic opening door in Star Trek or something. It's possible I'm losing my mind. Actually, it's almost 3 o'clock. I don't know where I got the 2:30 from. I'm grateful I didn't have a super late day at work. If we have a short week next week, we have some trainings we can do. Got some good stuff. My brain's starting to get a little bit zombified. This is why I need viewers. People need to jump in and I can chat with them, keep my brain engaged. Because usually when I shiny hunt, I'll like listen to a podcast or audiobook or something, but I don't really want to do that while I'm streaming, but then I need peeps to chat with, you know what I'm saying? I still could do that, though. There's like shiny hunters or Pokemon Poketubers or whatever, like patters that will react and stuff while he's shiny hunting. I just want to make it the focal point, but I guess there's not much to focal on right now. The glare on its back sometimes makes me think that could be blue. But then it isn't. I'm ready for the shiny. I don't know about you guys. Very, very much ready. Come on, shiny. Sign the treaty, baby. Sign the treaty. I don't think that's a. That's what that's that webhouse website. There is a podcast called Your Mom's House, but it is not appropriate for you. So do not watch it. It's hardly appropriate for anyone, really. I used to watch it, but it got a little bit too vulgar. Or not watch it, but listen to it. But it got too vulgar, and I was like, Welcome back, though. My mom actually doesn't have any shinies. She doesn't really play video games. She mostly listens to weird AI stories and sews. And she also listens to, like, conspiracy theories and stuff. She's into that. I mean, there are some scary ones, but they're pretty generic. It's just going to be like post-apocalyptic guy avoiding zombies and trying to survive, or like, you know, some detective noir or something, and they're very straightforward and recycled. And she uses them as like background noise while she's sleeping. I saw her on my vacation, and the whole night through she'd have stuff playing. My family also sleeps with fans on all the time year-round because they like the white noise. Which, I'll be fair, I do the same thing, but mostly because I go to bed so early, and I don't want to be woken up by like kids playing outside and stuff like that. Because my time zone, I'm laying down at like 7. No, it's usually just talking because it's an audiobook, you know? It's just the narrator. Which usually they're pretty mild-mannered fellers, you know? Pretty even voices, kind of like mine. It's not like a full act kind of thing. Which they do have those. If you get like the Harry Potter one, they have like literally like different voice actors for all the different characters in one of the Harry Potter ones. Though it would be hard to beat the original Harry Potter audiobook, because that guy that did the voices for the Harry Potter audiobook, I'm convinced he was the inspiration for most of the actors in the movie, because most of them just appear to be copying his portrayal of the characters. I think there's only a couple exceptions, and Snape is one of them. You can compare the two. It's true. Like, if you look at the way his McGonagall is, it's exactly how whatever her name is, I can't remember her name, portrayed McGonagall. Only really Snape was unique, and that's because Alan Rickman is a pretty good actor, so he wasn't just going to copy somebody else. He was going to, like, find his niche or whatever. I think the owner is a weird way of putting it, but I think you mean author. I don't much care about the politics of people if the story's good. The part where it gets weird for me is if they're like child molesters or something, because my favorite band, the lead singer, ended up being accused of that kind of stuff, and then I look back at like some of the content or like some of the lyrics of their songs and stuff, and I was like, oh, this guy's pretty openly a creep. So that kind of soured it for me. Like, I can still enjoy their music, but it kind of tarnishes it a bit when I realize the dude's kind of a disgusting freak of nature. But, you know, some people have a harder time separating the art from the artist. Unfortunately, there's a lot of need for that in entertainment. There's a lot of people that will eventually be exposed for being pretty horrible people. It's just the nature of being a human being, you know? The temptation of being a wealthy person and all that. And I guess some people are just genuinely evil, so there's that. But it's rare. Most people, it's not like a genuine kind of desire to be evil. They just... they get used to being in a position of power and authority and influence over people and then take advantage of it. What can you do? I have zero idea what that one, what that emoji is. Does it say like triggered or something? It's super tiny. Yeah. Can happen to anybody. I was listening to a video earlier today about Sykkuno, and I think he's a funny example. Just a guy that blew up on streaming and used it to be a little eho. Kinda doubt that. And everybody knows Sykkuno's a bit cringe, but he had his little moment as a little e-boy, anime boy wannabe dude. I thought also the hype over Dream was always so silly. Like I was like, why are these people so obsessed with this dude that just plays Minecraft and besides that has a pretty bland personality from my assessment. But, you know. People like what they like. I'm already ready to get the shiny, and I know that I'm nowhere near the odds, but the game can go ahead and yield me with nice luck, and I'd appreciate it. Theo was playing Minecraft the other day, him and his friends were revisiting it. He always uses mods, though, so he got like Curse Forge or whatever, and was getting like mods and stuff for it. But yeah, him and his friends jumped back into it. I had a lot of friends that played it too. I never really got into Minecraft because it just... I never was patient enough to like get the world kind of going, you know what I mean? What I probably should have done is jumped into like pre-made worlds that had like, you know, stories you could play through or something. That probably would be more my speed than like punch a tree, make a bench, or make a workbench, and blah blah blah. Like that was never, like I never had the patience for that. That's why I never really played that much of Ark either, or any of those games like that, or Rust. I would just get bored of it before I actually got going. Either that, or I'd get bored of it and then wipe and have nothing, and then you know, I'd be like, oh yeah, well I don't really feel like rebuilding after that. But when it was temporarily fun is when I took advantage of my friends who were better at that. You know, I'd jump on and they'd be like, here's a dinosaur, here's weapons, here's this, that, and the other. And I'm like, well, you got this, that, and the other? And they're like, oh yeah, several. So I would go lose their stuff. I was always better at like chill grindy games, like I talked to you about RuneScape. I would just sit there and mine rocks forever and craft things. Skillin', no PvP, no PvM really. Plus I also was just always free to play, so there's not a whole lot you could do. I'm telling you, man, I'm too old for Roblox. I think it's weird when you play Roblox as a full-grown adult. Told them to make a standalone game. Develop it. Maybe have Valve do it or something. I know it is. But I don't know, man. I am dead, yes. I'm an immortal, technically. Undead. I don't know, I've never was much into the, like, scary games. I think the closest I got to it was maybe Dead by Daylight, but Dead by Daylight I just liked kind of the strategy and gameplay of it. I think it's pretty interesting. That's true. Theo really wanted to play scary games for the longest time, but we didn't let him until he was older. And now he's pretty obsessed, so I'm pretty sure he wants to play through all of the FNAF games. Apparently he already knows everything about the lore because his friend is obsessed with it. Which I feel like would kind of take away from the experience a bit, but what do I know? I like the lore of it because I like some of the FNAF songs, like fan songs and stuff. And if it can inspire pretty good music, it must be a pretty decent little world. Me and Theo listened to some of them. I also like some of the music that was made for other games too, like Bendy. Some of the Bendy music. It seems like those kind of scary, creepy game genres seem to inspire some good music. The Living Tombstone just makes good music, though, so it's interesting that they make it mostly based on games when they're just actually making good music, you know what I mean? Like, they could probably be mainstream popular if they just made mainstream pop music, but instead they want to make music based on, like, Overwatch and Five Nights at Freddy's and stuff. Oh, that's funny. Theo plays a free one where it allows you to do like custom games where you can have like infinite robots and stuff like that. It basically makes like custom lobbies. And he also plays like the Roblox versions of it and stuff. But he hasn't actually bought the actual games, which is funny because he spent so much money on like in-game currency for all his games so he could easily buy them, and he says he wants to, but then, I don't know, maybe he's waiting for them to go on super secret sale or something. Me and him share libraries with each other on Steam, so if he ever bought it, I could play his game, and vice versa. Is it like more adulty or something? Oh, we don't mind him doing gore. Me and him have been watching Invincible lately, and that for a cartoon is like the goriest thing I've ever seen. Me and his mom are kind of on the same page in that regard, that we don't mind gore. We just try to like get away from like sexual stuff. We try to keep him from like sexual stuff. But in terms of gore, little boys like gore, you know what I mean? And violence and stuff like that. We don't think it's like bad necessarily to like that, as long as it's not like just straight up cruelty and torture. Like for instance, he really wanted to play that game for the longest time where you like just torture the little like doll guy. It's like a mobile game, and you just put him into different things that kill him or whatever. And I was like, nah, dude, I don't want you to play a game where the sole purpose is just killing an innocent thing over and over in different gruesome ways. I was like, I don't think that's a good concept for a game. Like, there's other games that are similar but have like more of a concept to it, like where you shoot like a kitten out of a cannon and it bounces off of cactuses and explosions and stuff like that, or something like that. You try to have it go as far as it can go. That one at least has some kind of purpose, even though it's kind of messed up. But the My Buddy one, or whatever it is, where you're just torturing it, I'm like, I think it's weird. Let's pass on that. You can play games that don't involve torturing something. I think you get into dark territory. I was listening to a video today about that guy D4Vid or whatever, the David guy, who like made songs about murdering people and then ended up being an actual murderer, and I was like, how rare is it that there's somebody that has like a morbid nature to them that actually is psychotic? Most of the time people are just fascinated by that stuff, but every now and then you'll find someone that's like, yeah, I could buy a chainsaw and cut up a body. Crazy. I saw some clips of XQC playing it. Didn't seem all that challenging. The funny thing is XQC, like when you listen to him talk, he sounds like a bumbling idiot, but then he's beat some actual difficult games, you know? So, he probably is smarter than he appears with his weird rambly French-Canadian nonsense. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to be wrapping up the stream here. Thanks for keeping me company. Have some stuff I need to do before I crawl into bed. So we'll do a few more encounters. Hopefully get the shiny. And then stay on for another 6 hours. What? Now, once I get this one, though, I will be pretty excited because I'm excited for doing the Regina trade afterwards. I think I can finally get my apple to evolve my Applin. Though I've decked it out as best as it possibly can be because I got Grassy Glide through the trainer and then 2 egg moves for it with Rollout and I think like Sucker Punch or something like that. So it already is like the best that it can be since it doesn't really learn any moves on its own. It's been kind of a fun challenge though. And its ability is just really good though. The fact that it gets like double eats on berries and double eats on or double heals on leftovers, pretty good ability. Alright, sounds good. Hasn't been a bad Pokemon, been pretty good overall. But yeah, I think before I get to the next gym, I'll be able to get that apple thing. And what I plan on doing is playing through till I get to the next gym challenge. Then that should get my coughing up to a wheezing. Then I'll pop over and do the Regina trade hunt in the Isle of Armor. And then after that, I think I'm gonna go through the Glimwood Tangle, so I can do that one, or the fossil hunt, one of the two. I don't think you have that ability. I've beaten it many times. Your voodoo doesn't work on my copy. If it did, I'd just put in a ticket. Have Nintendo fix it. The power of a ticket. Unfortunately, I have to. You have no power here. Alright, so this will be the last encounter. We're going to wrap it up. And then if I can get off early enough tomorrow, which, you know, probably not. Maybe I'll catch you. But it's probably going to be a later day tomorrow because when I used to work this area before, I would get extra help and it still would be long days, and we don't get extra help anymore, so oh my goodness. Alright, well that's it. It's been fun. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.